If you're a political junkie, buckle up, because what's happening right now is the kind of seismic shift that only comes around once in a generation. The political world is buzzing, and the stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just another day in Washington or another round of partisan bickering. This is the kind of moment that will be dissected in history books, debated in classrooms, and remembered by everyone who lived through it. The air is thick with anticipation, and you can almost feel the tension pulsing through every headline, every tweet, every whispered conversation in the halls of power. You need to know why Comey's indictment is making MAGA supporters cheer, while everyone else is left sweating bullets wondering what's coming next. This isn't just another headline, it's a moment that's sending shockwaves through every corner of the political spectrum. The reactions are immediate and intense. Supporters are celebrating in the streets, while critics are scrambling to make sense of what this means for the future. It's as if the entire country is holding its breath, waiting for the next shoe to drop. Former FBI Director James Comey just made history by getting indicted on charges of lying to Congress and obstructing their Russia investigation. For years, Comey was the face of the FBI, the man at the center of some of the most controversial investigations in modern American history. Now he's the one under the microscope. The tables have turned in a way that few could have predicted, and the symbolism is impossible to ignore. The man who once led investigations into the highest levels of government is now facing the full force of the legal system himself. It's a stunning reversal, and it's sending a message that no one, not even the most powerful, are above the law, at least for now. For years, he's been a top target on MAGA's enemies list. To Trump's most loyal supporters, Comey represented everything they believed was wrong with the so-called deep state, a symbol of the establishment they wanted to take down. He was the face of what they saw as a corrupt, unaccountable bureaucracy, and his every move was scrutinized, criticized, and turned into a rallying cry. The chants of "lock him up" weren't just slogans. They were a demand for justice, or at least for retribution. And now, with this indictment, those demands are finally being answered, at least in the eyes of the MAGA faithful. Now, Trump loyalists say this is just the beginning. They see Comey's indictment as the first real sign that their calls for accountability are finally being answered. The mood at MAGA rallies is electric. There's a sense that a long-awaited reckoning is finally underway. People are hugging, high-fiving, and waving flags with renewed energy. For them, this isn't just about Comey, it's about a promise kept, a battle won in a much larger war. They believe this is the first crack in the dam, and that soon, a flood of justice will sweep through the ranks of those they see as corrupt elites. So, why now? Why did this all explode at this exact moment? What changed to make this possible after years of heated rhetoric and political gridlock? The answer is as much about timing as it is about politics. Well, Trump himself demanded prosecutions, and just days before time ran out, the pressure was on, the clock was ticking, and the political world was holding its breath. Trump's public statements, his social media posts, and his behind-the-scenes maneuvering all combined to create a sense of urgency that couldn't be ignored. Allies in Congress and the media amplified the calls for action, and the message was clear: do something, and do it now. The result? A dramatic last-minute move that has everyone talking. A brand-new loyal prosecutor handpicked for the job filed charges. It was a move that caught even seasoned political observers off guard and instantly set off a firestorm of debate. The appointment itself was controversial, with critics questioning the prosecutor's independence and supporters hailing it as a long-overdue correction. The legal filings were swift, the press conferences dramatic, and the sense of spectacle was impossible to ignore. Suddenly, the story wasn't just about Comey, it was about the entire system, and whether it could withstand the pressure of such a high-stakes confrontation. Critics call it revenge politics. They argue this is less about justice and more about settling old scores, warning that it could set a dangerous precedent for the future. They point to the timing, the rhetoric, and the personalities involved, and they worry that this could open the door to a cycle of tit-for-tat prosecutions that will tear the country apart. The debate is fierce, and the lines are drawn, not just between parties but within them, as politicians and pundits struggle to define what justice really means in an era of hyper-partisanship. Supporters? They call it overdue justice. For them, this is about restoring faith in the system and holding powerful figures accountable, no matter how high up they are. They see this as a necessary step to rebuild trust in government, to show that the rules apply to everyone, and to send a message that corruption will not be tolerated. The celebrations are loud, the social media posts are triumphant, and the sense of vindication is almost palpable. For many, this is the moment they've been waiting for, a sign that their voices have finally been heard. But here's where things get wild. The Comey indictment is just the first domino. The sense of anticipation is palpable, as if everyone knows this is only the beginning of a much bigger story. Political insiders are already whispering about who might be next, and the rumor mill is working overtime. The feeling is that a chain reaction has been set in motion, one that could topple some of the most powerful figures in American politics. The uncertainty is both thrilling and terrifying depending on which side you're on. MAGA influencers are celebrating, vowing there's more to come, fueling speculation about who might be next. The online echo chamber is in overdrive, with hashtags trending and predictions flying. Every new development is dissected in real time, with influencers and pundits offering their takes, their theories, and their wish lists of who should be held accountable next. The digital landscape is a battleground, with memes, live streams, and viral videos shaping the narrative as much as any official statement or news report. Investigations are already circling figures like Letitia James, John Brennan, and even Fani Willis. Each name represents a new front in what's quickly becoming a political war of attrition. The list of potential targets is growing by the day, and the sense of inevitability is hard to shake. Journalists are digging, prosecutors are strategizing, and political operatives are preparing for the next round. The stakes are enormous, and the outcome is anything but certain. Social media is blowing up, and for many in Trump's base, this is payback time. The sense of vindication is real, and the digital battleground is just as fierce as the one playing out in the courts. Every tweet, every post, every viral video is another shot fired in a war for public opinion. The hashtags are more than just trends. They're rallying cries, symbols of a movement that feels, for the first time in years, like it's on the offensive. The energy is contagious, and the momentum is building. But not everyone's convinced. Some legal experts say the case is shaky and could backfire. They warn that if the prosecution stumbles, it could actually strengthen Comey's legacy and undermine the credibility of those pushing for more indictments. The legal arguments are complex, the evidence is hotly contested, and the risks are enormous. If this case falls apart, it could embolden Comey's supporters, discredit the prosecutors, and make it even harder to hold powerful figures accountable in the future. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the outcome is anything but guaranteed. The halls of power are tense, and the uncertainty is spreading. No one knows exactly how this will play out, but everyone agrees the consequences could be massive. Behind closed doors, lawmakers are strategizing, aides are whispering, and the sense of unease is growing. The ripple effects could touch everything from upcoming elections to the very foundations of American democracy. The world is watching, and the pressure is on. What does this mean for politics? The answer is as complicated as it is explosive. We're witnessing a battle not just over one man's fate, but over the very soul of the country. The questions being raised go far beyond Comey. They touch on the limits of power, the meaning of justice, and the future of the American experiment itself. It's a showdown over the future of accountability, power, and who gets to call the shots in Washington. The battle lines are drawn, and both sides are digging in for what could be a long, bruising fight. Every hearing, every press conference, every late-night strategy session is another chapter in a story that's still being written. The stakes are nothing less than the future of American democracy, and neither side is willing to back down. The only thing everyone agrees on, this story isn't over. In fact, it's just getting started. The next moves could reshape the political landscape for years to come. Every day brings new revelations, new twists, and new players entering the fray. The sense of unpredictability is both exhilarating and exhausting, and the only certainty is that nothing will ever be the same. Subscribe for the next domino, and all the drama to come. You won't want to miss what happens next, because in this new era of political payback, every day brings a new twist. The story is unfolding in real time, and the only way to keep up is to stay tuned, stay informed, and be ready for anything. The first domino has fallen, but the rest of the line is still standing for now.